Over the past 3 years, the world's oldest democracy has been tested in ways not seen in decades. An incumbent president tried to overturn an election, and his supporters stormed the Capitol to prevent the winner from taking power. Supporters of this attack launched a campaign against local election offices, firing senior administrators and forcing conservative states to pass new laws making it harder to vote. At the same time, the last 3 years have proven that American democracy is resilient. Former President Donald Trump's attempts to overturn 2020 election results failed because he was blocked by the checks balances of constitutional system, and he now faces both federal-state charges for his efforts. Then the voters stepped in. In every presidential battleground state, they rejected all candidates running for statewide offices that supported Trump's stolen election lies and had some oversight of the election. The country's election infrastructure performed well in the 2022 midterms, with only scattered disruptions. The new voting laws, many of which were technical and incremental, had little discernible impact on actual voting. Voters have mobilized to defend our democracy over last few years, said Joanna Lydgate, CEO of States United, which tracks those who refuse to believe in the legitimacy of 2020 presidential election. State and local officials have done a tremendous job protecting our free and fair elections. So, why all this concern? As Lydgate and everyone else working in pro-democracy field was quick to point out, the big test that Lydgate calls Super Bowl awaits in 2024. Trump is running for White House again and is dominating the Republican primary as first votes approach. He has called pardons for those charged Jan. 6, 2021 attack on Capitol, continues to falsely insist that 2020 election was stolen, and says he will use federal government to exact revenge on his political enemies. Trump used increasingly authoritarian rhetoric while campaigning for the GOP nomination. If he wins, allies plan to install loyalists in the government to ensure the bureaucracy does not obstruct his more controversial plans, as it did during Trump's first term. It's gotten to the point where conservative commentator Hugh Hewitt recently asked Trump if he planned to become a dictator. Not at all. Trump replied, "No, I will govern as someone who is very popular with the people." The 2024 election could produce all kinds of conflicts, including scenarios that have not occurred despite widespread concerns since 2020 violence at the polls, overly aggressive partisan poll watchers, or disruptions in vote counting. However, it seems unlikely that Trump will return to the White House if he loses the election. That's what he failed to achieve in 2020, and he's in a weaker position now. His strategy at the time was use Republican dominance in swing state legislatures, governorships and departments of state, send fake voter rolls Congress, even